is Youth Edition Africa. We are here for Peace Revolution Street, but it's going to take some of our time and talk about youth employment. How can African leaders come together? How can leaders all over Africa come and solve the problem that youth have today about unemployment? Is it a problem that is only affecting Kenya? Is it a problem affecting South Africa or any other country? I have two of my friends, one from Tanzania and from Botswana. We hear from them. Let's start with Botswana. She will tell us her name and some views according on unemployment. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Kopo Oromeng and I'm from Botswana. I'm a young person from Botswana. And just like many other countries in the world, and not just in Africa alone, Botswana has its fair share of problems, including with unemployment.
Yeah.
And I would say that, and this is my opinion, boils down to the education system and the purpose of the education system. Because the education system is there to create a generation of future leaders and future innovators. But if it fails to do that, then to me that results in unemployment.
So like Kenya, still Botswana has the same problem?
Absolutely.
Let's hear from my friend from Tanzania.
Well, my name is Finland Benadi from Tanzania, a young leader and with perspective of bright African future. Yeah, actually, from various study, from various observation I have done, in Africa we face the same problem, especially for the youth unemployment. Yeah, for instance, in Tanzania, each year we produce about 20,000 graduates from university high-learning institutions, but the capacity of government to employ is only 3,000. How about those 17,000? This is a problem. So, but what is the source of this? Our education system is the problem because it does not prepare a person to employ him or herself. We are dependent. We have the system which is creating people who are dependent. So I see this is the big problem. We need to have the system create a person who is mindful and independent. Something like he can't depend on government. Entrepreneur. We need entrepreneur education.
So you all want to mean that our system, our education system, should go more into technical skills that will improve our youth, fill them with skills that will bring in a self-employment mentality in their minds.
Well, that and many other things. You see, it's not. It would be wrong to say it's just the education system, because these are graduates who will eventually be part of a society, and the society has to be able to appreciate you even if you've graduated from university or you haven't graduated from university, but you can manage a business, or you can support a family and support yourself through art, or whatever kind of talent that you have. But the problem is that the culture expects, especially young people, that you would graduate from school and you're a doctor or an engineer or an accountant. And so like there's a gap of skills that we're failing to appreciate. But if we would, then we wouldn't be entirely reliant on what we would want the education system to produce.
So are there some things that the government has done to solve unemployment? Do you have NGOs in your countries that you can say this NGO has done one thing and the other thing, or the government has done something to say this number of undergraduates, by this time they should get jobs from either the government or from the NGOs?
Actually, government does something, but it's not something which you can see, because every time they say this year we produce 3,000 employment, but how does those employment be created is the problem. We need to see, we'll create employment in this sector. How? For instance, in Tanzania, the employment are there, but for the teachers. How about accountants? How about those doing maybe public relations? Is the problem. The employment is there for those who are fitting in the certain sectors. So we need at least to look on that. But For the NGOs, we have a lot of NGOs.
Yeah.
For instance, in Tanzania, we have about 7,000 NGOs. But the problem is we don't have capacity to produce the impact to the society.
Yeah.
We are registering NGOs, but with no capacity to.
Oh, there are so many organizations but doing so little, right?
Yes, that's why I say we have a lot of NGOs,
Yeah.
but with narrow impact.
Narrow.
Why? Because most of people are registering NGO with the intention of having something, just
Yeah.
like pocketing.
Getting donors
Yeah.
and then pocket all
That
the
is the
money.
big problem.
Yeah.
And if you should look at this, you find most of NGO are under youth.
Yeah.
And the other problem which he currently has encountered in Tanzania,
Yeah.
most of youth run to politics
Yeah,
because
yeah,
politics
yeah.
pays.
Yeah.
Yeah, being politician, you earn because most of them you run to MPs somewhere.
What has the government done to solve unemployment? Are there NGOs that can either bring unemployment, the rate of unemployment down?
The government, I think I would say, has done a lot
Yeah.
in my country.
Yeah.
There are a lot of youth schemes and funding opportunities, especially if you're a young person who's interested in agriculture.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then there's always a problem of execution and follow-up, and that's on the government side and as well as the beneficiaries. So there are a lot of people who sign up for those grants and draw up business plans and take their time doing that, but they don't follow up on it. So you take a sum of money, but then the project dies off, and so you'd find that the government is losing a lot of money that is being pumped into all these individuals who you would assume that they would create employment for other people
Yeah.
and be able to sustain themselves. As for the NGO part, I would say we have very few NGOs.
Yeah.
And again, there's always also a problem of execution. I think Botswana, unlike most large African countries, population-wise, we generally have a problem of youth mobilization. So it's maybe in Tanzania it would be so much easier to get 4,400 young people together in one place and come up with ideas or talk about problems. But in Botswana, it's not that easy.
So what would be your advice either to a government that is looking for a report either to improve employment or an NGO that want to come up with a way of absorbing youth?
I would specifically advise young people.
Yeah.
I think, and my advice wouldn't go to young people in Botswana only. I would just advise young people all over the continent that I think it's very, very mind-opening to get out of your space, to leave Tanzania and come to Kenya for Peace Revolution Africa, or to leave Kenya and go somewhere else, because you interact with different people and different problems. And sometimes it's interesting because then you meet people with similar problems. Like I've met my Tanzanian brother here, and they have a different way of solving them. And because we have similar problems and different ways of approaching them, we can pick up from each other. So I would advise my African brothers and sisters out there that we should try as much as possible to get out of our comfort zone, to communicate and be able to pick up from some of our brothers and sisters who are managing or finding solutions to these problems.
Yeah, right. Bernard, what are some of the skills that you would advise an African youth to put their mindset to? What are some of the skills that when I come to Tanzania I will easily get absorbed?
Oh, actually, we Africans, always people say Africans, there's no hurry in Africa. We take everything easy. This is the big problem. This is the big problem because none of us use his mind to think, what do I need? We all depend on
each
others.
other. We depend on others.
We don't want to generate our own way. This is the problem. For me, I'm a social entrepreneur, and I'm an entrepreneur too. We have to innovate even a little. Agriculture is the best way to move out of the poverty in the world. Currently, World is the biggest organization running agriculture programs and offer donations.